How to build a property portfolio quickly in just 7 steps. I'm Ryan McLean and I'm from cashflowinvestor.com.au. I'm going to show you in this video how you can build a property portfolio in just 7 steps, but I want to make you aware at the start that even though these steps look simple, you need to make very wise investing decisions as you go along. These steps only work if you choose the right properties and analyze your properties before you start investing. If you're interested in a property calculator, we have an advanced property calculator. Just check out cashflowinvestor.com.au/membership and you can get the calculator in there. So let's get straight into it. Step number 1, have a starting deposit. Very, very difficult in Australia to purchase a property without a starting deposit. So you're going to need at minimum 5% of the purchase price of your property just to get into the market. If you have a 20% deposit, then you're not going to have to pay lender's mortgage insurance, which means there's a lesser fee to get in, which gives you more equity. That fee's not eating up your equity. Step number 2 is to have a decent income. Now, when I say a decent income, I don't mean you have to be earning $1 million per year. All you have to have is a steady income that means you can get a loan from the banks or from a lender. If you don't have a steady income, or if you're earning too little money, then the banks won't lend you anything and you just won't be able to get into the property market. So it's really important that you have a decent, but it doesn't have to be huge, income. Step number 3 is to buy your first property. Now this is going to be the most important step, so don't rush it. Don't just go out and buy the first property that you see and that you can afford. You need to be really smart with your investing. You need to buy a property that you can grow the equity on and that you can leverage against to launch into your next properties. So just make sure when you're buying it that is a great investment. Step number 4. Add value and gain equity. This is a very important step, and this also goes back to step 3, which is when you buy a property, you need to buy a property that you can add value to. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to grow your portfolio as quickly as you would like. So step number 4, add value and gain equity. There are many different ways you can do this. You can add value by doing renovations. You can add value by subdividing the land. You can add value by adding a dual occupancy. You can add value by changing the property so it moves from a 3-bedroom house to a 4-bedroom house. You can add value by doing all sorts of different things. But the goal is to increase the value of your property so that it's worth more money. Step number 5 is to borrow against the equity in that property to buy another property. So if you've added value, then you'll have what's called equity, which is untapped value in that property. So say you owned a property, you bought it for $500,000 and you have a $400,000 loan. Effectively, to start with, you have a $100,000 equity in that property. Let's say you increase that property's value by $100,000. That property is now worth $600,000 and you effectively have $200,000 worth of equity. Now, most often the banks will only let you borrow 80% of the value of the property. Otherwise, they will charge lender's mortgage insurance. So that $500,000 property, which became $600,000, we can borrow 80% of that, which is $480,000. So we can draw out another $80,000 in equity to go and purchase our next property. Step number 6 is very simple. Repeat step 4 and 5 over and over. Buy a property, add value, draw on the equity to buy another property. Continue doing that. Step number 7, ensure a strong and growing rental return. This is extremely important if you want to grow your property portfolio quickly. What's going to happen over time is that the value of the loans will exceed your ability to pay those loans as an income earner. So what you will then need to do is use the rental returns and the rental income from the properties to help to pay for your loans. And as you're increasing the value of the property and then drawing on that value, your loan and repayments are going up. So you need a strong rental return to start with, and preferably a growing rental return so you can continue to borrow more money. So that's it. That's the 7 steps to build a property portfolio quickly. This has been a video podcast, an audio podcast from cashflowinvestor.com.au. Get our free 5-day masterclass by going to cashflowinvestor.com.au. Look forward to seeing you at the website.